While the aftermath of the political decapitation of Kevin Rudd as Prime Minister has dominated events all this week, don't forget the radical shift exposed in state politics through the biggest swing against the state Labor Party ever recorded in the Penrith by-election. And this week the latest news poll shows the state ALP's primary vote has dropped to a record low of 25%. In Penrith, the private ballot box rage of traditional Labor voters was something to behold. The Liberal candidate Stuart Ayres won the seat with an absolute primary vote majority and was sworn in as an MP before Parliament rose for the winter recess. Penrith gives Coalition leader Barry O'Farrell the momentum he needs to change the government of New South Wales on March the 26th next year.
Right at the start of this, I said this campaign was about respect. People in Penrith respect people who work hard, people who are honest, people who have integrity at the core of everything that they do.
Stuart Ayres won Penrith for the Liberal Party as a beneficiary of voter rage and anger from the seat's traditional Labor voters. While the Greens candidate Susie Knight doubled her vote, most Labor voters, when inside the privacy of the ballot box, moved their pencils directly to the Liberals.
What we've seen this evening is the Liberal Party win its first seat in Western Sydney in 20 years. And we've seen swings in places like Cranebrook and Kingswood of up to 20%, which demonstrates once and for all that Labor does not have a lock on Western Sydney. Labor does not have a lock on certain classes of people, as they constantly claim, but forever continue to neglect.
Penrith has helped to set up Barry O'Farrell and the Coalition for victory next March. Mr O'Farrell's forces need to win 12 seats to form a majority government. Even if the Coalition gets only half the Penrith swing statewide, he will be able to govern with a substantial bare-pit margin.
The people of Penrith have spoken, and I humbly accept their verdict.
All of a sudden, Labor's bright new star, Premier Christina Keneally, was made to look like a loser.
We as elected representatives always have to hold that sacred trust between ourselves and the electorate, and that trust is the integrity that we bring to the job. And in this case, the former member did not act with that integrity that the electorate expects.
And this week, Newspoll tracked state Labor's primary vote from 39% at the 2007 election to 26% after the Labor split and the demise of Premier Maurice Yemma, tracking back when Christina Keneally replaced Nathan Rees as Premier, but now to a record low of 25%, confirming the collapse of the Labor vote recorded at Penrith. Since 2007, the Liberal Nationals coalition primary vote has tracked consistently above 40%, to now climb to a high of 46%, the highest since 2004. And the Greens have tracked from a primary vote of 9% at the 2007 state election to 16% today. Two-party preferred, the latest news poll shows the coalition at a crushing 61% to 39% over Labor. And what about the beauty contest? Who would make the better Premier? Christina Keneally is currently at 44%. Opposition leader Barry O'Farrell has lifted his popularity to 36%, just 8 points behind.
The polls will narrow. The opinion polls will narrow, because that's the nature of every election campaign, that you have big margins mid-term and they start to narrow as you get close to election day. I suspect there'll also be a honeymoon in it that will flow through from the election of Julia Gillard to the Prime Ministership. So I suspect that from the next poll we'll start to see a narrowing, and that's why the team and I, over the next 8 weeks, will be out across New South Wales working hard to outline our plans to fix this state.
You've just given the federal election to Julia Gillard and not your mate Tony Abbott.
No, I've just acknowledged that the factional warlords and the unions wouldn't replace Kevin Rudd with someone less popular. They put someone in who's more popular, and she will get the traditional honeymoon that people get. But look, we're in New South Wales. We've had our first female Premier foisted upon us by the very same people that put Julie Gillard in the job, and here we are 6 months later, nothing's changed.
Barry O'Farrell says he's trying to position the Liberal Party firmly in the centre of New South Wales politics. He's taken to wearing blood-red ties, and this week posed for the Herald's Metro section with a headscarf and what he says is his favourite Cold Chisel album. Barry O'Farrell, 51, arts graduate, married, 2 kids from West Roseville, will obviously stop at nothing to be the next Premier of New South Wales.